I'm gonna look forward to that fight. That's gonna be an interesting fight. I'm going towards Tyson Fury because I think he's just gonna overpower him. He's gonna catch up with him and overpower him. That's what I think. I could be wrong. Little guys are difficult to fight because they're harder to hit because they're smaller.
Mike Tyson made a bold prediction of the outcome of the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship bout after his press conference.
I've seen some stuff in the media like this is really personal between me and Oleksandr Usyk. It's not personal. It's strictly business for both fighters, There's a lot of stuff on the line and all that, but I don't hate him. He don't hate me. He's a good husband, good God-fearing man, so I respect him as a man, as a fighter.
The fight this weekend between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk has grabbed the attention of many headlines over the past few days. And as an authority in the sport, the baddest man on the planet has made his prediction.
It seems strange that instead of choosing the top 10 guy, the guy is choosing someone who never boxed before.
Do you think he's scared?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Really, very afraid.
As the bout between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul nears, the two fighters faced off Monday night following a press conference. Both Tyson and Paul seem to be in good spirits, giving each other smiles before ending the face-off with a handshake. And after the press conference, while he exited the building, Mike Tyson was asked to make his predictions ahead of this weekend's undisputed World Heavyweight Championship title fight between Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk. The bout, which will be hosted in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, will take place on May 18th after a number of postponements. The Gypsy King will take on the unbeaten Ukrainian in a highly anticipated bout, with his last fight having seen him taken the distance by Francis Ngannou. But before we delve into Mike Tyson's prediction for this highly anticipated bout, let's check out how the press conference went between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. The fight between the legendary boxer and the up-and-coming Paul takes place on Saturday, July 20th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The fight will stream live on Netflix. At Monday's press conference, Paul didn't downplay the hype surrounding the fight, calling it the biggest fight of the 21st century, per the New York Post's Jared Schwartz. "This is quite literally the biggest fight of the 21st century," Paul said. "Because of the fact that it's Mike Tyson versus me, but also the fact that it's in 700 million households."
The war, and so I respect that. I respect them for taking this fight, for stepping up to try to put an end to me, because that's what all these fighters have been trying to do, is end the YouTuber. And if Mike can do that, then he's a hero.
Tyson, 57, is no stranger to the boxing world. He has a 56 all-time record with a professional career spanning 20 years and was the undisputed world heavyweight champion from 1987 to 1990. But Tyson is nearly 20 years removed from his professional boxing days and last stepped in the ring in an exhibition fight against Roy Jones Jr. In 2020, his fight with Jones ended in a draw. "I'm doing great, but my body is shit right now. I'm sore. I'm really sore," Tyson said at Monday's press conference.
"You're too old to be fighting a guy who's 28.
Well, I'm beautiful.
Is the training camp going? Because we see the 30-second clips with Rafael Cordero and your whole team, but could you give us a little more insight into how things are going?
I'm doing great, but my body is right now. I'm sore. Yeah, I'm really sore.
Paul is relatively new to the sport with his first fight coming in 2020, but he's found success early on with a 9-1 record and 6 knockouts. Paul is looking to earn some respect as a boxer, and taking down Tyson this summer would help with that quest. The 57-year-old Tyson, speaking at New York City's Apollo Theater during a press conference to promote a fight against an opponent who is 30 years his junior, said he wants to show the world he is still a great fighter. "I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his life depends on it, because it will be," said Tyson. The heavyweight bout at the Arlington, Texas home of the NFL's Dallas Cowboys will be contested over 8 two-minute rounds, with each fighter using 14-ounce gloves. The outcome will be included in both fighters' professional boxing records. Tyson, who said he requested the shorter rounds because he feels it will lead to greater action and a more entertaining fight, shot back at critics who suggested he is making a big mistake by returning to boxing. "The people who said that wish they were up here," said Tyson, "because no one else can do it. Who else can do this? Who else can shut the sporting world down? No one else can do it. So you got the both of us. We're friends, but in that ring, we're not going to be friends. Tyson also said he did not hesitate at the chance to fight Paul. It was a no-brainer, said Tyson. He was the new up-and-coming guy on the scene, and I like shaking the sports world to its core, and I'm doing it now. It's just something I want to do.
No, I really like Jake a lot, you know, but once he's in that ring, you have to fight like his life is dependent on it, because it will be.
For sure, I think it's 50-50, you know. I truly believe that there's a lot of people who, you know, see me as a...
Paul, a 27-year-old YouTube influencer turned boxer, has won 9 of 10 boxing matches with 6 knockouts against a mix of celebrities and middling fighters. He suffered his sole career boxing loss in February 2023 when he lost a split decision to Tommy Fury, the half-brother of World Boxing Council heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. Paul said people should not overlook Tyson. Age doesn't matter. Age is just a number. He's a killer. He's a warrior. He's been doing this his whole entire life. So it's second nature to him. I've been doing this for 4 years, Paul said. Paul suggested he is being underestimated by Tyson and boasted that he has more power than the man once considered one of the most feared men in the world. I know it's going to be tough. I know I'm going to have to fight through adversity. I know I might even go to the canvas, said Paul. I'm scared, don't get me wrong, but it's not about the fear stopping me. It's about going into it even though I am scared, and that's what true bravery is. Tyson and Paul will participate in another press conference on Thursday in Arlington. But before then, Mike Tyson was asked about his pick ahead of the match between Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury once they were done with the press conference. Mike Tyson is fully aware of what it takes to step into the ring and partake in huge heavyweight clashes with so much on the line. The former world champion will be watching this weekend when Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk meet with all 4 world titles up for grabs. Fury and Usyk were originally due to face off on February 17th. But the Morecambe-born fighter was forced to withdraw after suffering a cut above his eye in sparring. And now, Tyson Fury will defend US World Boxing Council belt against Usyk, who will put his World Boxing Association, International Boxing Federation, and World Boxing Organization titles on the line when they meet in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on May 18th. And speaking to a reputable news source, Iron Mike Tyson gave his prediction for the fight and broke down how he believes it will go. He said, "Hey, we should not focus on what Fury did against Ngannou, but you have to understand that he is still the champion. He made that night a great night. He gave Francis the opportunity, and that was just a bad night at the office for him. We all have bad nights, and listen, that was his bad night. I look forward to that fight, Fury versus Usyk. That is going to be an interesting fight," Mike Tyson said. "I'm going towards Tyson Fury because I think he's just going to overpower him. He's going to catch up with him and overpower him. I gotta go with Fury. I think he's the best fighter in the world, especially in the heavyweight division. Great fighters lose. Great fighters look bad. That doesn't stop them from being great fighters." Since defeating Deontay Wilder to win the WBC crown back in March 2020, Fury has defended his title against Wilder, Dillian Whyte, and Derek Chisora, while Usyk defended his unified titles against Anthony Joshua and Daniel Dubois. Ahead of Fury and Usyk going to battle for all the marbles, Matchroom chief Hearn also made a stunning U-turn in his prediction. The English promoter originally sided with his fellow countrymen before picking the former cruiserweight world champion. But the 44-year-old now believes Fury will not only win, but also stop Usyk. On X, he wrote, "Changed my mind again. Fury by stoppage."
How many people you have here for the app?
How many people?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, this part of team. This part of team.
Okay, so who's who really quick?
Our team,
80 team members.
Wow.
However, Oleksandr Usyk has done the most inventive thing to ensure he proves many of these boxing legends wrong. The Ukrainian went to impressive lengths to find sparring partners who could imitate Tyson Fury ahead of their world heavyweight title unification clash this weekend. The Brit, who stands just a shade under 7 feet tall, is no ordinary heavyweight and presents a number of unique challenges to his opponents. Fury will tower above Usyk when they meet in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on Saturday, and will also enjoy a significant reach advantage in the ring. Ahead of the biggest fight of his professional career, Usyk was determined to commit to an intense training regime. Per a news source, the 37-year-old racked up more than 250 rounds of sparring. Typically, these rounds would be 3.5 minutes long with just a 20-second rest period. Finding sparring partners to replicate the man mountain that is Fury was never going to be an easy task. which is why Team Usyk created an app named Ready to Fight. The app has been called the world's first social platform for professional boxing and was launched by Usyk last year. According to Oleksandr Usyk's manager, Sergey Lapin, Ready to Fight has played a pivotal role in Usyk's training camp. It's become significantly easier to find sparring partners since we launched Ready to Fight. Instead of calling 100 contacts trying to organize everything, now everything is all in your phone. You have direct access to a manager or a fighter and everything is transparent. The vast majority of Usyk's sparring partners were actually found through the app. They have come from different countries all over the world. We don't have a connection to, for example, Africa, which we've had a few sparring partners from. Without the app, it would have been hard to find guys with the same weight and height as Fury. Of course, there are still guys who Usyk sparred before that came into camp this time as well. The vast majority was found through the app. The revolutionary app even utilizes artificial intelligence technology to match with the best suited fighters based on the parameters given within the app. This was evidently useful for Usyk, as there are very few fighters of a similar build to the Gypsy King. As crucial as the app has been in helping Usyk prepare to face Fury, he also believes that the Ready to Fight platform could prove a helpful springboard for young fighters around the world. As a world champion who started his journey from humble beginnings, I am intimately familiar with the challenges that await young athletes along the way. Such a platform can democratize our sport and open doors for talented boxers from all over the world, wherever they live, whatever their background and financial means.
But how it's the developers?
It's not easy.
They managed to resolve this issue. But since then, the idea to create an online platform that would enable boxers to easily collaborate, capture their minds. But in fact,
it will be interesting to see if the app kickstarts the career of some budding fighters if they are to spar well against professionals with the right eyes watching in the camp. While his upcoming bout with Fury is the biggest of Usyk's professional career, he does not believe that becoming undisputed champion will be the crowning achievement of his career. An Olympic gold medal is more important than anything else, he insisted. The Olympics is a completely different competition. My first Olympics, I lost in the second fight. When I went back home, I thought about finishing in the amateurs and going professional. I took about 2 or 3 months rest, and then an old friend said to me, "Your dream is a gold medal, yeah?" I said yes. He said, "Please try again." So I thought about it and eventually I did. When it comes to a belt, if you don't win it this year, you can maybe have another go in 6 months next year, not 4 years. That's what makes the Olympics so special. And as they prepared for their first press conference yesterday, the brawl that broke out was a huge sign that gave a glimpse of how mind-blowing May 18th will be. Tyson Fury's father, John Fury, was embroiled in a fracas during the pre-fight media day. Fury Sr. was seen launching a headbutt at one of Oleksandr Usyk's entourage. Security stepped in, and Fury Sr. was pictured with blood pouring from a cut. Tyson Fury's father headbutted a member of Oleksandr Usyk's entourage after he entered his space and disrespected his son. He has admitted John Fury was left bleeding from his forehead after he launched the attack in the lobby of the Riyadh Hilton Hotel in Saudi Arabia. Footage that quickly circulated on social media showed Fury Sr. lashing out with his head towards Stanislav Stepchuk, who was wearing Usyk's team tracksuit. He then had to be restrained after security stepped in to prevent any further confrontation. Fury Sr. has now revealed that he became embroiled after members of Usyk's camp repeatedly roared their man's name at Fury's entourage. "I was sat there minding my own business," he told IFL TV, wearing a cap that covered up the mark on his head. "All I could hear was, 'Usyk, Usyk, Usyk.'" He described the chanting as madness and said he launched the headbutt after some little idiot came forward in my space.
The pair of ears, let's be respectful to one another. All they can say, Usyk, Usyk. What do you think we're going to stand there with our fingers in our mouth, not doing nothing? I'm full of testosterone, man. I'm ready to go 24 hours a day from my boot to the top of my head.
Tempers flared after the two teams crossed paths in the hotel lobby on Monday, leading to a violent confrontation that overshadowed the pre-fight media day ahead of Saturday's undisputed world heavyweight title fight. Both camps were chanting the name of their respective fighters, but John Fury crossed a line when he became physical and assaulted Stepchuk. There was a football atmosphere as both camps tried to deafen the other with chants, but Fury became the hooligan. As for Mike Tyson's and Jake Paul's press conference, the atmosphere was so cool and friendly that the boxing legend had to question if he truly was in a press conference. First on stage were three men, dressed in high-vis tops and hats. They flipped buckets upside down, turned them into drums, and bashed away, even after the formalities had begun. Then came a second three-piece, one man playing a trombone, one tapping bongo drums, one whacking a bell. Then came a solo violinist. Then a quartet of fighters who treated the audience to another rendition of platitudes, the familiar soundtrack to boxing events like this. After Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, Amanda Serrano, and Katie Taylor had fallen silent, the stage was handed over to journalists. One asked Serrano, a 7-weight world champion, where she was going to put the extra pounds she can carry up at super lightweight. And then, eventually, this became an open mic night. The crowd crammed into the Apollo Theater in Harlem were invited to steal the show. One fan needed no second invitation. He was a young boxer from around these parts, barely a teen. He stepped up to the microphone and offered an R-rated endorsement of the fighters. Then he asked, in less polite terms, which of Tyson or Paul had slept with more women. Apparently, that was the tipping point. Mike Tyson appeared at times to be taken aback by the chaos of his Jake Paul press conference. Paul blushed and rocked back in his chair. The shock jock was stunned into silence. Soon Tyson was forced to speak out. "I can't believe we're at a press conference," he said. Yep, Mike Tyson was shocked into speaking out. The same Mike Tyson whose life has, for long periods, veered between chaos and carnage. The same Mike Tyson who gnawed the ear of one opponent and threatened to eat the babies of another. He is in a more serene place now, sitting atop piles of green, having built a cannabis empire that has replenished much of the $400 million he made and then lost through boxing. But still, what does it say about this circus that he was the voice of reason? What does it say about boxing that this bonkers spectacle was relatively mundane compared to Monday's curtain raiser to the first undisputed heavyweight title fight for 25 years? Over in Saudi Arabia, John Fury headbutted someone ahead of his son's fight. Here in Harlem, a 27-year-old took a few playful digs in the kidney from a man old enough to be his dad. Not much makes sense anymore. Not that the people here cared. One queued from 6 a.m. apparently. They all hollered in approval as Tyson and Paul talked up their July 20th meeting in Dallas. Netflix will broadcast the fight to its 270 million subscribers. More than 120,000 have registered for tickets, which come on sale this week. Some will pay up to $2 million for a VIP package that includes locker room access and seats on the ring apron. No matter that Tyson hasn't fought professionally for nearly 2 decades, no matter that by fight night, 31 years will separate the two fighters, no matter that many people, including Deontay Wilder, have sounded alarm bells of concern for Tyson's health, the people who say that wish they were up here, because no one else can do this. The 57-year-old said, "No one else can shut the sporting world down." It's true that few athletes can cast a spell like Tyson, even at this age, even when he fights a YouTuber turned boxer with 10 fights to his name in a sanctioned boxing match. There is a reason Netflix have chosen this event as their way into live sports streaming. Sports fans will always be seduced by icons and intrigue. Even Katie Taylor, one of the most decorated fighters of the modern era, morphed into a fangirl as she sat beside Tyson on stage. "I'm pinching myself," she said before posing for selfies. "I'm truly honored to be on this card," Serrano added. It was all rather bizarre, the surest sign that something was amiss. The press conference actually started on time. And rather than pass down the torch, 2 generations were coming together to set AT&T Stadium ablaze on July 20th. Many won't ever condone it.
Here, are you trying to put an end to Jake Paul?
Well, no, I really like Jake a lot, you know, but once he's in that ring, you have to fight like his life is dependent on it, because it will be.
For sure, I think it's 50-50, you know? I truly believe that there's a lot of people who...
Many will struggle to understand this new age of content and carefully curated chaos. Even Tyson seems a bit perplexed by what he has hobbled into. "Forgive me. I'm an old dude. This is new," he said at one point. He was particularly puzzled by that foul-mouthed fan. "Where's your mother at?" he asked the youngster. "Not here, it seemed. Come July 20th, though? She'll probably be watching too. And that's all for now. What do you think about Iron Mike Tyson's prediction? Do you also think the Gypsy King would emerge victorious again? Or do you expect Ukrainian Oleksandr Usyk to prove most people wrong? Let's know your thoughts in the comments section. For the very best updates on news, moments, events, and actions in the world of boxing, stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to turn on notifications to get alerted when we drop quality contents like this. Until next time, peace out.